Wildlife officials captured a large estuarine crocodile in the Crocodile area along the Nilwala River today. The Department of Wildlife Conservation said the crocodile would be transferred temporarily to the National Zoological Gardens in Dehiwala. However, whether the giant captured today was the same one that attacked two humans on separate occasions recently has not been established as yet.
This giant reptile was captured this morning in the Crocodile area along the Nilwala River in a joint operation conducted by environmentalists and wildlife officials. This reptile was captured about 100 meters from the spot where a schoolgirl was taken away by a crocodile on the 4th of this month. The crocodile was ensnared in a trap set by wildlife officials last night, and subsequent to the recovery of the trap, measures were taken to transport the crocodile. Of the two crocodile species found in Sri Lanka, the marsh crocodile and the estuarine crocodile, the larger estuarine crocodile is known to be more aggressive and dangerous. Wildlife officials who participated in the operation said the reptile captured today was a 12-foot 1-inch male belonging to the subspecies Crocodilus porosus, more commonly known as the estuarine crocodile. Although the operation has been successful thus far, we are not sure as to whether this is the same crocodile which killed the two women. We cannot clearly state that we captured that crocodile. Therefore, we will continue with the operation for a further 3 days to ensure that there is no crocodile activity in this area before we conclude the operation. I request the public to be vigilant even though we have captured a crocodile in the area. The crocodile does not come onto land to attack humans. If we are careful, then we can remove the label of crocodile-human conflict which has been applied here. As a large crowd of area residents gathered at the location following news of the crocodile's capture spreading, the police and army were deployed to control the crowd. Meanwhile, 5 baby crocodiles captured from the Maoya by area residents in Balawala Giriulla yesterday continue to reside in a water tank in a house in the area. The News First team, which visited the area, witnessed 3 baby crocs swimming in the Maoya in addition to the 5 which had been captured. Residents say that although they had appealed to the Department of Wildlife Conservation to take the baby crocodiles away, they had not received a positive response. If there is no problem and we can keep them, then we can hand them over to someone. Otherwise, we have to release them where we found them. The situation is aggravated by humans polluting the river, especially when waste meat and other such items are dumped in the river. What happens here is that because it is easy for them to get food, the crocodiles are drawn towards human settlements. The solution is not to kill the animals or to relocate them or to torture them. The Department of Wildlife Conservation can be informed to come take the animals away. Crocodiles are an important link in biodiversity, especially in Sri Lanka. Also, it is high up the food chain in ecosystems in Sri Lanka and across the world. The destruction of such animals is a major problem for environmental balance.
The
President of Palestine, Mahmoud Abbas, is to arrive in the island tonight on a 2-day official visit. Secretary to the Ministry of External Affairs, Karunatilaka Amunugama, stated that the Palestinian president will meet President Mahinda Rajapaksa and hold discussions tomorrow. Meanwhile, President Mahmoud Abbas is due to meet the Minister of External Affairs, Professor G.L. Pires, tomorrow and hold discussions. Bilateral agreements between the two countries is to be signed during this official visit by the Palestinian president. Up next is a look at Action TV.
This is a common sight that can be witnessed near the Siri Parakumavata settlement in Angoda, which consists of nearly 1,000 houses. The residents of these houses make a tireless effort to fill every bucket or bowl in their house with water. When their efforts prove futile, the residents look to the only well located in the settlement for relief.
There are 5 people in our house. The 5 people living in the house do not receive the required amount of water, but we get the water bill on time. We don't receive water, but we pay the water bill. Although we get water from 12 midnight to around 4 in the morning, it is a very little amount which does not even fill a tank. The water pressure is low. There are certain times when the flow of water stops.
This sign depicts the measures taken by the Water Supply and Drainage Board to resolve the issues encountered for the past 1.5 years by those residing down Siri Parakumavata.
A bigger pipe than the one that was there previously was laid. We were very happy when this pipe was laid because we thought we would get water. It has been 2 to 3 months since this pipe was laid, but we don't receive water. There is a pipe but no water.
Officials come here, turn a tap belonging to someone and then leaves. Their duties are limited to that. Sometimes they send a water bowser. But can more than 1,000 people living here fulfill their daily needs with just a bucket of water filled from the bowser? Why don't they understand? The temporary solutions provided by the Water Board to the drinking water problems faced by those living in this settlement cannot be justified when taking into account the location of the Siri Parakumavata settlement. The Ambatale water purification plant is located not even half a kilometer away from our homes, but those living in the vicinity do not receive water. Chairman of the National Water Supply Board, this is over to you.
In business news tonight, the central bank's annual report for 2011 reveals the domestic savings reduced considerably last year. The report states that this was a result of a drastic increase in consumption expenditure. Domestic savings, which was 19.3% in 2010, reduced to 15.4% in 2011. Meanwhile, national savings, which stood at 25.4% in 2010, reduced to 21.4% in 2011. This resulted in a negative effect on national savings investment gap, which increased from 2.2% in 2010 to 7.8% in 2011.
Savings is an important source of the supply of investment funds needed for investment in the economy. Nevertheless, this is not a big issue in a modern economic environment. The reason is actually the foreign direct investment inflows can bridge the domestic savings gap. If Sri Lanka is looking forward to sustain a higher growth rate over 8% in the long run, Sri Lanka has to depend more and more on foreign direct investment, especially at the initial stage of increase in economic growth rate. In that case, Sri Lanka has to show the international community about the investment-friendly policy environment of the country to win the confidence of the foreign investors.
Time to take a look at sports news now, and Suan Fernando is ready in the studios with the very latest. Suan, it's over to you.
Thank you, Arundhati. Starting off with some rugby news, the Sri Lankan team recorded a massive victory today in the Asian Five Nations rugby tournament. The Sri Lankan team was headed by a member of the first family, the president's second son, Yoshita Rajapaksa. The Sri Lankans defeated Chinese Taipei's 36-8.
The match was played at the Rizal Memorial Stadium in Manila, Philippines. Dinusha Chatukwanga, S. Malawan, Chula Seneviratne and Hasata Pereira registered tries for Sri Lanka. The Sri Lankans' tally of 36 points were made up of 3 converted tries, a try and a penalty. At Lemons, the Sri Lankans led Chinese Taipei 29-3. Chinese Taipei scored off a solitary penalty kick. In the second half, Sri Lanka's Mohammad Sharif registered another try which was duly converted. At full time, the scoreline stood 36-8, ensuring that the Lankan side will head into their next fixture brimming with confidence.
Actually, everyone is happy what we played, and we are proud of what we did and what we achieved in the first game. And we are looking forward to other games as well. In the 2-3 days time, we'll be playing Singapore. So, actually, I didn't feel there was any newcomers in the team, but because everyone everyone did their role, and they gave 100%, and they were committed to that. And next match is Singapore, and in that there are a lot of experts playing, and I think they will give a good fight, and I believe Sri Lankan team will also be up.
Up next is the bitter truth.
On the 1st of this month, the Bitter Truth reported on the actions of a group of officials at the Sri Lanka Schools Cricket Association who had violated circulars issued by the Minister of Education and taken an under-15 team to Malaysia, allegedly for a triangular series. The Bitter Truth questioned on what basis the Deputy Minister of Education had seen it fit to overrule the objections raised by Sri Lanka Cricket and to override the subject minister in granting permission for this tour. This was the response made by the Deputy Minister of Education. A group of children and parents came to me and said that their flight was tomorrow and that they had not been given permission. Our children are very enthusiastic to go abroad and compete in sports to achieve victory. I do not know how they found the money for the tickets. They may have raised the funds. The parents may have given them the money. But if I did not give them permission for this, then the media itself would have reported on it and said, Deputy Minister of Education, over to you. Nevertheless, Director of School Sports Rohana Karunaratne said that disciplinary measures would be taken against the officials connected to the tour. He also said that a circular would be released next week outlining the procedures and rules to be followed when recruiting school athletes for training.
Well, that's it from the sporting arena. It's back to you, Arundhati.
Thank you, Swan. Well, that's a wrap from the News First team for tonight, but be sure to log on to our website, that's www.newsfirst.lk for the very latest. I'm Arundhati Mudanaka. It was indeed a pleasure having you with us. Good night.